We are back on a Tuesday night where typically you would see us in Atlantic City.
Well, this time of year, yeah.
This time of year, we would have been
this week.
This would have been us in an Irish pub in Atlantic City, talking about the sandwich, the Geno's or whoever's the White House
Pats.
Yeah,
us.
White House would be tomorrow. Let's get the schedule straight here.
See,
Yeah, we've done the sandwiches already. Today would be
Expo
Expo 4 stuff.
So there's so much you're not there, and you just start to forget everything, and you just go through your.
We have to end right at 8:00 because Brian and I are going over to House of Blues for the promo only Pioneer Party.
Yeah, that'll be coming up because you never know who will show up.
Well,
yeah, but then before that, I have reservations at Carmine's at 10:00 that I really don't want to go to. But if I don't, they're going to hate me for it. And then after that, I got to go to some DJ scratch off at some pool party thing. And then I'm going to go to House of Blues.
Scores.
And then I'll get to bed at 4 a.m. and get up and do it again at 8 because that's how DJ Expo works, folks.
That is how it goes. So tonight's show, we're going to just kind of, this would have been the week that DJ Expo typically is this week in Atlantic City, and it's obviously canceled, or I should say postponed till November. What happens from that, we'll see how things go. It's been a tough time for the industry. There's no question about it. So tonight what we want to do is just kind of go through and chat. If you've been following Brian's Facebook page, he's been putting up a lot of pictures from past DJ Expos, and we just wanted to have a time tonight to talk a little bit about our experiences and what we've seen, what we've done, and just kind of, for those of you who've never been there, to give you a flavor of what it's been like to be in Atlantic City for DJ Expo.
I've got a lot of stories, and Jay does as well.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to later on, I can do a screen share and share some of my memories from Expo that I posted. For those of you who didn't see them on social media, give you a little explanation on some of those photos.
Excellent.
And Jay and John are in some of those photos.
Yeah. No, that sounds actually really quite, because I was looking through them, and there's some I either were involved with or knew the story behind, and there's a few of them it's like, well, I don't know what that's about. So
I got stories. I can share. So yeah.
I like the me interrupting the interview last year at the Irish pub shot of you and John, and I'm looking at it like that's like 30 seconds before I stumbled into the picture and grabbed the mic.
That would be a great video to show, actually.
Yeah. That is.
I had actually forgotten about that until you brought it up.
I didn't.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
Yeah, so I just handed him the microphone and just stepped out of the way.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of Jay sharing his.
Well, I think the people, and we had this big talk last night, and I'm sorry to interrupt, Brian, but just give me 1 sec. I think it's difficult to really put into words sometimes. We've made friends at these shows that we see once a year for 2 or 3 days, who, at least for me, someone like Brian Kay, Howie I did see at the Photo Booth Expo, but normally I don't see, Jimmy I saw there too. There are people I see who I've, grown to know and trust and love over 10, 15, 16 years that I've been going. I mean, when you can go to a show for 3 days, come back every August, and I'm not to revolve around drinking, but like when Ego was there, walk in and the bartender Lou is like, Jay, you're back, and reach down, get a Bud Light, open it, and hand it to you. Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a feeling. It's more than a DJ show at that point, because now you've got people that you've made relationships with.
Right.
And very quickly, with the president and CEO of Pioneer, one morning about 10 o'clock, walking through Trump Taj Mahal, and Lou was bartending and yells over, Jay! And I'm like, hey, Lou, you need a Bud Light? I'm like, no, I'm good right now, just going to work. And they just looked at me like, why bartender offering Bud Light at 10 in the morning, Jason? I'm like, oh. Yeah. I mean, Mobile Beat's a lot of fun. NAMM is a blast. But I think as far as the relationship show, it has to be Expo. It really, really does. I mean, there are people we've lost that we still talk about. They've been gone for going on 10 years. Yeah. And we still will have memories and mention some DJs that have, left us. And it really is amazing. I mean, look at Marshall. I saw Marshall when I was in Dallas last October. I know
did you?
Marshall from that show, then into Mobile Beat. Marshall's a friend of mine. He's a friend of Brian's.
Yeah.
If you called Marshall now and said, bro, I'm in Austin, Texas, and I need something, he'd make it happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this isn't someone you talk to every day. Granted, Facebook gives that, but that's the kind of relationship. So I'm
There's
really
a brotherhood. There's a real and sisterhood too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
it's a family thing. When you're part of it, you're part of it, and you're accepted, and whatever you need is yours. It's really nice.
absolutely 100%.
I was thinking about just getting to DJ Expo for those of you who have never attempted to do that. If you don't live on the Eastern Seaboard, it's a little difficult, and everyone here, including myself, can attest to that. You don't just typically fly to Atlantic City. Have any of you ever just flown directly to Atlantic City?
Oh yeah.
No.
When that capability was to fly from the route we did was Minneapolis to Chicago Sunday night, because there was one flight from Chicago to Atlantic City, but it left Chicago at 6 a.m, and there wasn't a flight from Minneapolis to Chicago. So I would have to go fly in. And the first year I went and that I did this, I stayed at a cheaper hotel, $75 a night, but it was a 40-minute drive from the airport, unbeknownst to me. So that meant, 6 a.m. and we had to be in the airport at 4:30. That means I had to be up about 2 or 2:30 to get there. So then the last couple of years, I stayed in the hotel right across just down the hall in the airport, $250 a night. But I could literally get up it was a 6 a.m. flight. I could get out. I left the hotel room at 5 a.m. and I was so there was your balance of that. But yeah, so we'd fly into Atlantic City on Spirit. Learned very quickly that the front seats, you pay the extra $25 to get those front seats on Spirit, and it functioned. But obviously that doesn't happen anymore. So the last few times we've had to fly into Philly.
Well, just for those of you who don't know, if you live anywhere other than, like I said, the Eastern Seaboard, most people aren't flying Spirit into AC. Most people are flying into Philadelphia.
Yep.
And when you get to Philadelphia, what I think a lot of people do anyway, is they'll take the subway, which doesn't go underground at all to my knowledge, but it's the train, the local train, to the 30th Street station in Philadelphia, which is gorgeous, by the way.
Beautiful.
And from there, you take an Amtrak for a little over an hour.
About 90 minutes.
Okay, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
To Atlantic City. And when you get to Atlantic City, you end up at, of course, the Amtrak station. So then you take a cab or an Uber or whatever to the property you're staying at. So it's the epitome of trains, planes, and automobiles. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's not like Vegas where you fly into McLaren and you're there, no matter where you're going in Vegas, you are 5-10 minutes away. When you fly into Philly, you've had a long trip. There's been delays. It's been crazy. Philly's a big airport. Then you got this other thing you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you got to want to go. You put an effort to go to this show. But the reason I brought it up was because, most of the time, after a while, for those who understand we go through this and do live on the Eastern Seaboard, there's usually a phone call or a message. Hey, Bri, what time are you flying in? Happy to come by and grab you on the way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that does happen.
Yeah. But realize, if you think that's a challenge, now understand the trains come in and out of Atlantic City every 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So now on Friday morning, when you have a 8:30 flight, you say, I'm going to take the 6 o'clock train. Not really, because you're going to take the 4:45 train, because the next train won't get you to the airport in time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to blurry-eyed wander in to the train station, fall asleep on the train, get to 30th, and then everything starts slowing down again. Oh,
right.
It's a production to get out of Atlantic City.
I took an Uber about 3 years ago from the Atlantic City train station to the airport because there was no way it was going to happen, and I had to get home.
I had to take a limo back in 2010 because there was no Uber, and we missed the 4:45 train. And I looked at Christian. I'm like, what do we do now? We went over. We were at Trump.
Yeah.
Went over to the desk. I'm like, we just missed like our train.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a car service, and I'm like, oh, like New York City, this is perfect. We'll get a car. We'll go. $250.
Yeah, and it's not a cheap date, man. I don't know why, but
we expensed it, so we didn't get out of it we got out of it kind of unscathed.
Right.
But that's pre-Uber. But even now, a lot of the guys that I work with, I like the 2 trains. So I'll take the SEPTA from, Terminal D that I fly in American over to 30th, get a Dunkin' Donuts coffee because there's no bars. Go downstairs, get on the Atlantic City rail, and then get in there, and then hit Tun Tavern. Got to have a cocktail there, and then go wherever I'm going in either a jitney or an Uber. But a lot of guys Uber. It's like $150 from the airport.
By the way, speaking of 30th Street Station, and I haven't been there in a while because I keep getting hooked up with rides, but the last time I went through there, they've got the best gator gumbo restaurant in that train station. It's alligator, and it's really, really spicy, but every time I'm there, I have to get it. It should not sound good at all, but I have to have it. It's delicious.
You with like Philly and Vegas, you got a gumbo thing, don't you?
Yeah,
you like your
Cajun food. It's Cajun food. You don't get it all the time.
Yeah, you did that in Vegas at Golden Nugget.
No, Four Queens.
Was it Four Queens?
Yeah, Four Queens.
Yeah, it's Four Queens.
But you had gumbo.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's the soup.
When in Vegas, have gumbo.
I
saw that on the billboard.
It's part of the $12 prime rib dinner all-inclusive thing, so you just get it. It's good.
I had 3 salads, so don't ask me.
Delicious.
And vodka, so it's good.
And I don't want to screw up the rhythm of the show or anything, but would anyone like to see some pictures?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's kind of make that. Visuals are always good.
Let's let me get it started here first, and Jay and John will both be able to talk about what's going on. You want to play Sarah
McLachlan, "I Will Remember You" or anything, or
no?
We'll just sing it.
No,
remember you.
Absolutely not.
No. Okay. So as long
we're going to go into the way back machine.
Yeah,
here.
as you're pulling that up, the one with the Atlantic City Airport, I've got one interesting trip. Because generally, I've run into people who are traveling back to Chicago, and there was a manufacturer. One of the higher ups from one of the manufacturers was actually flying back, but not to Chicago, but he was flying back at the same time. And he saw me coming into the airport, and he's like, "Hey," he saw me going into the airport, and then we went different directions. And I went and there's a little burger place in the Atlantic City Airport. Ordered a burger because I really they do a great job with it. So I ate and I was full and I was headed to the end. And he catches me in a hall and he goes, "Hey, John, I'm just going to get a bite to eat. Come and have lunch with me." I just, okay.
Yeah, you can't turn the down.
So go in there and he had to order a big sloppy burger. So I had ordered another big sloppy burger and have that and trying to talk business and such and feeling like really crap from overeating with 2 sloppy burgers.
You just get pulled in different directions, and
it's just that's the thing is,
and once you get off the plane, there's a lot going on.
And it becomes,
Christian used to fly in, and there would always be bad weather, so he would get delayed, and the trains, the timing is always off by 30, 40 an hour. So I would just go over to the Marriott, to the bar, I think it's Three River or Little River or something River bar. Go over there and have a couple of beers, wait for Christian, then meet him. Then, Brian, we met one time at 30th. You end up just like suddenly being there because 30th is so wide open.
Yeah.
That you can see another DJ pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. And it's gorgeous. I mean,
it's a beautiful stage.
Absolutely beautiful. And
you hear that clicking sound in the middle where they show the next train to like Atlantic City or, Washington or Boston. And they do it on the old fashioned clicker. So the letters and numbers are all flip around.
Nice.
Now, before I share these pictures, I just want to say this. I think most people know that I don't drink, but I
got photos.
So when you're seeing these pictures, just keep that in mind. This is a long time ago. Not that I'm ashamed of it. Not that I wouldn't accept an alcoholic beverage now, but I haven't had a drink in many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And people know that, but in these pictures, you may see some alcohol. So
are these the Bumblebee photos?
Yeah, there's some Bumblebee. Yeah, we're going to start with Bumblebee photos right here. In fact, let me go ahead and blow this up. So this is the Ego Lounge right here. And in this picture, we've got Chris, who's no longer with us. We've also got myself, Brian K, in the YouTube DJ's shirt.
Yep.
And then the guy next to Brian K, that's Wavy Davy. He's a local DJ here.
It's Wavy.
And, yeah, and then Marcia, that's his wife. And then we've got Marshall. And then if we click over here, look, we've added Jay this time.
That's the crew.
Yeah.
And there's Brian Dowdle.
Yeah, Brian Dowdle. There's Flip.
And Unique from Pioneers next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we're still at Ego, but yeah, that was the layout there. It was pretty cool.
So is Jay about 25 at that time? He looks pretty young.
Who?
Jay looks like he's about 25 at that time. He looks pretty young.
Yeah, probably.
I think I was.
24, 25.
The shows have aged me.
Look at him in that picture. He looks like a little kid.
This is 2010, so this is 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you look like a little kid in that picture. This is what you're.
Oh, the same bracelet too.
Your facial expression is like, oh,
yeah,
go home. We just got there. It was probably opening night right there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's yeah. John, Papa John.
Oh yeah.
And Chris were out on the boardwalk. The story there, and you'll see a couple of boardwalk pictures. There's Marshall and I laughing very hard because I just had told Marshall the story that Chris and I decided to go on a helicopter ride. We thought that would be a fun thing to do. And we went to the end of the pier, and we were getting ready to get in the helicopter, and they asked Chris how much he weighed. And when he told them he weighed 410 pounds, they turned us away. Yeah. He was too fat to fly, and Marshall thought that was hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
We were very excited about going on a helicopter ride, and he just pouted when he was told no. And then, as soon as that happened, no joke, not even kidding you, a seagull shit right on his face. So it was like this terrible thing. And it was like, you're laughing. See, that's why Marshall was laughing in this picture. Yeah. There's that's Dina and Gabe from Scrim King.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's Chris Atwood from New Jersey.
Yep.
Between you two.
Yep. There we go. And then you've got.
I don't know what's
Adam.
going on here. There's Brian K. right there because I see the shirt and the hat.
Yeah, that's
Wavy. And that's Chris again, but I have no idea what's happening here. And those one of those pictures where I used to drink.
This was a disclaimer photo.
Yes.
This was Brian doing his best Jay impersonation.
Used to drink a lot. No, Jay used to do Brian impersonations.
Yeah, true.
There's Flip. There's Kat from NLFX.
Yeah.
That's probably 10 years ago.
That's 10 years ago.
Yeah. That's House of Blues, Jay. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That was in the Showboat Next Door. That's where Promo Only and Pioneer used to sponsor this really cool showcase. They bring in artists.
Night parties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Jay always was kind enough to hook me up with VIP so we could sit in the balcony and watch it.
Yep.
We didn't have to be amongst the other people.
The unwashed masses. No, it's you just think for a heartbeat in one night to see 50 Cent, Naughty by Nature, Pitbull, Lady Gaga, like one act after another.
Yeah.
For free.
It was like that. It was totally like that.
Insane.
There's Brian down there. Poor Brian.
Yeah.
This looks like it's like Photoshop, but it's not.
No.
Yeah.
That's casino behind.
That's just happened like that. Yeah. So there's Chris, that terrible VMS4 that people bought that was a mistake. Gabe and Dina again. Oh, wait, look at that. Look, can you see over my shoulder here?
Yeah.
See who that is? It's Dylan.
That's Dylan?
Yeah, look, right over my shoulder. It's Dylan.
Oh, yeah, it is Dylan.
I just noticed that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there we are again. Another picture, more boardwalk stuff. There's Scribble. Or not
Flip.
Scribble. What am I saying?
Not Flip. What am I saying? That's Qbert.
Qbert. One of them DJs. It's Qbert.
Yeah, one of those DJs.
Yeah. Jay Klein.
Jay Klein in a shirt and tie.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. And
blown.
whoever this guy is here, Sid Vanderpool behind him. That was before the show. And I'm in shorts, so this was 2011.
Okay.
Because that's when I was having a hard time managing like clothes, and they were just posing with me, happy that I was alive, which was kind of them. I was being interviewed by somebody here, and then I don't even know who these kids are. This is terrible. But
You know what? I don't either.
kids.
That's Larry D.
Yeah, a long time ago, Larry D.
Yeah.
And
He's
I'm wearing
the
my hospital record shirt that I got in Netherlands
Looks
at
like Dead
Dance
Mouse.
Fair. And that's Biz Marquis.
Yep.
He has a giant ass head. He's a big
Yep.
dude.
He really does.
That was on stage at one of the ADJ parties. And that's DJ Cool.
Yep.
And that's during one of the parties. For some reason, I'm up there.
Yeah, like that's Monday night's party, and that's who you get to see for free at that. DJ Cool, Biz Marquis.
Yeah, that was just an extra thing that ADJ started doing. And they didn't want to step on
They did
anybody's
their Monday night
toes.
pizza.
So they did pizza and artists.
Remember
Yeah, there's Johnny Johnson. More Cool. That's Alfred Gonzalez. You know, okay, I'm going to tell you about this picture right here. We'd never seen the Liberty Bell, so what ADJ would do is they would rent a van. So we'd all meet at the Philly airport sometimes, and then we'd go to like Budget or Avis or whoever. We'd get our rental van, but then we'd spend the afternoon in Philly. We would go to Gino's and Pat's or whatever. Well, Alfred said, "Hey, let's go check out the Liberty Bell and stuff." So we go to Liberty Bell, and I had just gotten my brand new Galaxy Samsung phone, and I was taking a picture of the Liberty Bell, and I dropped it and I cracked it. So I cracked my phone at the cracked Liberty Bell. So that I always thought that was there was something to that.
That's awesome.
I don't know why, but if you're gonna crack your phone, crack it at the Liberty Bell. Cracking the bell, cracking the phone.
Brian, real quick, memory just came back to me that I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Very first time I complained every year that I never got to Gino's and Pat's with Pulse.
Uh-huh.
And you brought me a sandwich to Ego Lounge.
Oh.
From either Pat's or Gino's.
That was from Gino's.
Gino's, yeah.
This is Joey Blue.
Yeah.
This is 2014 because I can see it on my badge. Joey's a really, really sweet guy. He lives down in Florida. He's a New Yorker. He was a Studio 54 DJ, a Funhouse DJ. One of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And he knows his music inside and out. Fascinating guy to talk to.
One of the first guys to ever play Madonna.
Yeah. With her in the booth.
In a DJ booth.
He went to school with Jelly Bean Benitez.
Yeah, she's friends with him.
Who produced that album. Calls him John. He was a couple years ahead of him, but they knew each other.
He DJ'd the night that Michael Jackson brought Thriller in.
Yeah. He's got stories.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah, Joey's the real deal.
There's B&I Philly, posted next to historical stuff. And a food shot. I'm not sure what we're eating there, but Brian looks happy about it. And so do I. Another thing we'll do sometimes is after we get our cheesesteaks or on our way to get the cheesesteaks, because it's in I guess it's South Philly.
Yeah.
The streets are very narrow.
Off like 9th Street, I think.
And you pass all these little shops. If we see a record shop, we take note of it, and then we'll double back to it after we get our cheesesteaks. So that's just a shot from one of the record stores. And that one was kind of fun. That one we found some neat stuff in. But, there's more Gabe and Dina. There's Gino's. They're in Philly, right there. And I don't know who that guy is, that creepy dude in my hotel room, but
I remember that room because you and I did a video up there too. I didn't bring that much production. Like, who was that guy? He was one of those network guys, wasn't he?
I don't know. Some bonehead.
Was this fishing with Brian or something?
It was. It was.
You can see Showboat in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in one of the Trump towers.
Yeah.
I forget what they called them. What do they call those towers?
I don't remember.
Life me, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like I want to say executive and
yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
something like that.
Then you had to show your room card before you went down the hall, so they didn't think you were bringing hookers up with you or something.
For fear of hookers, that's right.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Skill Boogie. There's Jimmy Reed. This is what you see outside of the convention center, this Atlantic City, and then how you doing? I thought that was great. And I find it fascinating when I'm in Atlantic City, and I don't know if it's just me, but just seeing the locals is hilarious. Like these kind of heavy set Italian guys with boat shoes on and shorts and a open like Tommy Bahama shirt with these big gold chains, and it's just a hoot. I don't know why, but I get a kick out of it.
It's a great place.
It's B-Love.
Bad time.
It's when I was in DJ Times, who puts on the show.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting, and many people have not seen this before, nor do they know it exists. And I have another picture of it later on. This is inside seating at Geno's. It's VIP inside seating for
Oh, I
celebrities.
didn't know they had it inside either.
No one knows, but it's a secret.
How'd you guys get in there?
Alfred did an
Hessery.
install at a club in Atlantic City for a guy who is
Knows
the
the
guy who owns
guy?
the club is a partner at Geno's.
Oh, okay.
So he
Hey,
said
knows
next
the
time
guy,
you're
knows
he
the
said,
guy.
yo, he's like, yeah, you know, I own half of Geno's or part of Geno's. He's like, oh, I love Geno's. He's like, hey, next time you're in town, it's on me. I'll let you in the VIP area. When you go to Geno's, they're very like, it's one of those things where if you don't speak English, don't order here. And you have to order cheesesteak at one window and fries at another window and a soda at another window. You can't do it all at one window, and you can't stutter or hesitate or they'll yell at you.
Have to scream at you.
So it's almost like the soup Nazi thing from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful how you say things, and you got to really know what you want when you get there. Don't go up there and go like, come on, what are you doing? Let's go. But when you sit down there, they kiss your ass. They're so nice to you. It's
You
like
say whiz.
yeah, whiz.
I've only ordered at Pat's, and there you say whiz.
Yeah, right here. This is what the booth looks like, and it's the kitchen is like right in front of you. This is the gentleman right here who has the club in Atlantic City, and owns part of the restaurant. So very cool to have that experience. It's
Good guy to know.
This is a very humid night with Brian Kay. Yeah.
No, the guy behind him.
Oh, I mean, you know what? This is terrible. He's the wrestler guy. What the hell's his name?
Yeah, what's his name though?
Oh, this is killing me. I know this guy.
Shoot, I do too.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Johnny Glitter.
Yes, Johnny Glitter. Yeah,
Yes.
good call.
And
Yeah,
you can tell it's humid because Johnny's hair is frizzy and my hair is frizzy.
Yeah.
There's a
lot of
super
humidity.
humid night.
Lot
Right
of
outside of Taj. Yeah,
I have a
Johnny
shot
Glitter.
like that, but looking up, and it looks like the photo went bad because there's all these white dots. And my
It's
son
birds.
walked in, like, those are birds. What?
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
yeah, go by the lights to get the bugs and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. I mean, this is daytime, and there is grassland between the beach and the boardwalk in some areas.
You ever swam there? I swam every single year I ever went.
I've been in the water once.
Every year, 16
I
years.
went in the water one time.
Went in, and everybody complained. Everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's the ocean.
Yeah.
Fine. It's not a lake. It's the ocean.
Do you know who this guy is?
I was going to say Wavy Davy.
No, that is Dennis Falcone. He's one of the program directors at SiriusXM. One of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. He's super cool. And he's on Opie and
Dennis, I
Anthony
need a
all the
promo
time.
code.
Huh?
I need a promo code, Dennis.
Yeah. He's on Opie and Anthony show all the time. So he's
okay.
actually a radio personality too. But yeah, he's a really nice guy. That is Jordan Rogers from
She's
Pop
such
USA.
a doll. Such a doll.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. She's a lot of fun to go out and party with too.
I
Her and
partied
Otto.
with her in
though.
Vegas.
There's Otto right there.
I was going to say her and I in Vegas at Caesars one night.
Just don't call him Ara. His name's Otto.
What did I
I know
say?
it's spelled Ara, but it's Otto.
He's fine with me, I think. I just say, what's up, bro?
There you go.
Yo.
Hey, Chief.
Ara. And that's just, I'm very happy just to like be off the plane because I think there was a delay that time.
To have survived it.
Look at that.
That's ancient.
Is that old?
I'm wearing Pulse's shirt. Oh, no, that's my shirt.
No, that's yours.
Yeah.
Okay. We would switch shirts sometimes. This is how crazy we
Yeah.
get at shows. I'd wear Pulse, he'd wear Jay. Just to mess with people's heads.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
we're
You
man.
not.
guys are always switching names around.
We're certifiable over here. We
Yeah.
go to the end. We
And
go
look,
to the,
there's chicken heads with headphones on, like really getting into their mixes.
oh, yeah, in the booth.
It's fun at the Pioneer booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
That's the bass fishing guy.
I remembered this picture. Do you remember this picture, John?
Not right offhand. Where were we? That was
I
by the
hadn't
smoking
seen
area.
the whole show, and you
That's
walked out.
outside in the smoking area.
That's right.
We're out
Yes,
by
I was out there
smoking.
having a cigarette. You walked out, and I'm like, John. You're like, dude, I gotta go. Bye. I'm getting on a cab, getting on a plane. I'm like, stop. Let's get a quick picture. So we did, and then you ran like hell. and
Yeah,
got in the
yeah.
cab
Because
and left.
we were headed.
He did that to me at Photo Booth Expo. Him and the family are walking in a straight line
always
like it's
does
Sound
that.
of Music with their suitcases. I'm like, what's going on? We got to go put our bags away. We're getting a plane. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's Jeffrey Short from Chevet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good guy.
Super,
Really
super
good guy.
cool, dude.
Super nice. Carl
This,
Detkin.
this is outside of the train station.
That's your welcome to Atlantic City, kids.
Exactly.
You step over the homeless dude who's bumming cigarettes off you that are $18 a pack, and then you go to Ton Tavern and have your welcome beer.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what you're doing.
Yes.
Then you end up at Hong Kong, Atlantic City Bar and Grill, or Fairmont Tavern. That's the way it works.
Of course, that's Sparky. He was happy that we posted that picture.
Yes.
Or Jay. Yeah, this is just packing into one of the vehicles to get down there. I don't know what was going on this day, but we were stuffed in there.
But you see, John, you see how crazy we got?
Uh-huh.
That's the Whiplash guy. I know him. He does the freak show on the boardwalk, right? Oh, that's Nick Hahn.
Nick Hahn.
That's Nick Hahn. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like
Look at
Miley
that.
Whiplash.
He's got
Like,
his trucker hat on.
dude, he could be running one of those freak shows down in like seriously.
Go on to see the two-headed snake.
Seriously, you'd go in. Hey, get over here. I'm Nick James, damn it. Get over here. Come on, you want to see something? I know Brian Red. Get in here. Get in here now. Okay, sorry. By the way, sign up for pool.
There's our friend Pulse.
Pulse, who's not on social media and loving life.
Yes. I sent him a text last night.
I tagged Tall Music in anything I saw him in.
Good.
I'm like, dude, you're all over the place. Where? It's a thing called Facebook.
Yeah. This is at Carmine's, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again,
Bar.
our friend in the middle is a top hat away from running like the circus or something with the little goater thing going on there.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have the personality for a circus, I don't think.
No, I think he's
He's too nice. He's too nice.
Yeah.
Nick is a circus guy. I don't know how that
No,
would
Nick's
work.
the freak show guy.
Okay. You know what's
Nick.
great? You know what's great about this picture right here? The guy who owns this vehicle and is driving it at the time is probably
Michael.
watching the show right now. It's Pete
Michael.
the Hubcap dude.
Yep.
This is Pete the Hubcap dude's jitney.
I thought it was Michael. Who's
Michael.
Michael? No, that's another guy.
What are you talking about?
Pete.
Well, we
He's
got
retired Atlantic City police officer.
well, no, not Atlantic City, a community near it,
Okay.
Yeah.
but he's
But I know
retired
he's
police
retired
officer.
cop.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we've got Larry, we've got Brian, Pulse. I don't know who
Me.
that guy is.
MJ.
Jay, myself. We've got Jimmy. We've got Dan, and we've got Howie.
Yep.
And we're having a good old time. This is something that happens a lot. We're in these jitneys a lot. I think shortly after this, we ended up somehow picking Shani up on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way.
so.
She was walking down the street. I don't know.
She was
And we
working.
drove her somewhere. I don't.
She was thumbing or
I
something.
think she had hit a different event. I think. And
Yeah.
More cool. Howie and I digging into a funnel cake on the boardwalk.
Yep. Howie looks pretty serious. I wouldn't
he
mess
does.
with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, the Shani way up here
Oh,
DJing
yep.
at Bose.
Yep.
See her?
There she is.
You have a big screen, but she's there. That's why I took that picture. And it's Rachel. And there's the big, well, not the Wonder Wheel. That's
Steel Pier. That's
Coney
the
Island.
Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
On Steel Pier.
Steel Pier, where they had the diving horse a long, long time ago.
Way long. You know, there's a strip club called Diving Horse in
Is
Atlantic.
DJ Wash? Is there?
Yeah. just wanted to fill in any gaps that you guys felt there were.
I
I
think
wanted to say
this.
it before John did.
I'm pretty confident that this was last year, because this is in a restaurant. This is actually in the Hard Rock Cafe in the new Hard Rock Casino. And
That looks recent.
this
Because
this
men
is.
look like that tonight.
It was the weirdest thing, John. And if you know, if you've been in this for a while and you know people, you know why this is weird. I was approached by Ben Stowe, and he said, "How would you like to go to dinner with us?" That was weird. Ben's never invited me to dinner. Usually, Ben and his crew stick together really close, but
Yeah.
he that night for some reason he wanted a crew, so there we are.
I told him no.
It was
So
really
I
nice.
guess just you got sloppy on that one.
This is Julius, who owns Ape Labs right here, the
Ah.
Ape Labs guy, and then Owen, who's no longer with Ape Labs, and we are at Gordon Puck Steakhouse, and we ordered tomahawks.
Oh, the big long bone ones.
Yeah.
Those
Screw it, I ain't paying.
huge.
Let Germany pay for that one, and that's Owen's son right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who that guy is.
It's trying to steal an iPad from a booth, though.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out how does this thing walk on here.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this?
This was the patio of the Irish pub, wasn't it?
Yep, this is out in the pub. Yeah.
Very well could have been.
Was that 2 years ago?
It's not raining, so
Yeah,
Well, not yet.
It would have been 2 years ago because last year we were inside in that in a very warm.
Yeah,
side room with a
That
low
one.
ceiling.
That room. Yeah.
Here we go.
This is just
Yeah.
before I lost my microphone.
Yeah. Thug came up and stole it.
Yeah. Staying to sing. I mean, I was just standing there doing a show, and
this is what it looked like before. Everybody was happy, we were having a good time, and then this guy came in and stole the mic. And I have no
Sounds like-
pictures of that.
I
by the
thought
way.
it was my DJN TV, but I apparently this idiot rolls in.
I hope you guys are enjoying some of these pictures. There's not a lot left in this roll, but
Brian and Michael from Vibo.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's that one.
Canal.
And then this one, these are
Jeffrey
the guys
Kwan.
from Canal,
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the
Jeffrey
Jeffrey.
Kwan and the crew. Don't have chicken in that picture. This is before chicken, I think.
Ah,
It's Dan Turner.
yep,
Look at these fools right here.
yeah,
It's our very own Howie Darkstar and Jimmy DePalma right there
yep.
at the patio of the Irish pub.
Yep. Okay.
And there's some crew here from inside the Irish pub. There's Dan. Look, this, if you can see this on your screen, Larry looks
can
like
see.
really like he's having a great time right there.
I know. All the photos of him, he's always so happy.
But he's a fun guy to talk to, and he
He's
always
totally
seems cool.
fine.
But look at him in the pictures, and he looks pissed.
Oh, he looks depressed. Yeah, like why?
Larry,
not?
cheer up.
But you talk to him, and he's having a great time.
Right. And there is Jimmy and his wife with Howie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I don't know who these shady dudes are
Yeah,
right here.
this is trouble. This
Yeah.
I can tell you when this was.
Yeah?
This was 12, I believe, 12 or 13.
Really? Wow.
And the reason I take that back. This was 15.
Okay.
This was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I have no gauge on this one, except that your hair was short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of my. Well, it's the outfit, the tuxedo, the vest and shirt was the thing in 15 for me.
And it's got the artsy thing on it, as this one does. This is one of Brian's pictures. Sparky, Brian, and I. And this is very old because I'm still wearing the stupid
Sparky has hair.
football jersey.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Sparky has hair. That's weird. Yeah.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
that.
these are things we use to regulate.
Yeah.
What year
Yeah.
was?
Oh, man. Good times.
You and Flash?
Yeah. That was my first DJ Expo. I interviewed Grandmaster Flash. I thought that
Now, I have that same photo. Did
Uh-huh.
I take it or did I end up with a copy of it?
you ended up with a copy of it.
Okay, because I posted that last night and you tagged it.
Or maybe you took it. I don't know. Somebody. No. His guys took it on my
I had it
phone.
I have it in my files too. That
Or,
was
no,
the
it wasn't
thing.
even. I didn't even have a camera phone at the time. It was just he took it on my camera.
Mm.
You know what? It somehow got you gave it to me then. It somehow got to me through
Okay.
you to post or to send to
Or
you.
I
There
sent
was
it to
some-
you or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one of those like I'll send it to you and you send it back kind of things.
No, I'm not getting all the pictures here on this flip through here. I've got a couple more pictures that I'd actually like to share with the class.
Sure.
If I could be indulged for just another minute, because there are some that I feel like need to be shown, and for some reason didn't pop up on that roll, and I don't understand why. But a couple other things happen that I want to talk about quickly, and I won't take too much time on this, but I do need to take a little bit of time. Well, let me see.
Which
Okay.
one did
This one right here. I got to talk about this picture right here.
oh, okay.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, what was the deal with this one?
okay, so Howie picks me up from the airport, right?
That's the deal with this
I'm
one.
very happy that I'm getting a ride to DJ Expo, because I don't have to take trains. And we are halfway there, and all of his gauges start tweaking out, and he starts losing horsepower. And I'm like, dude, I think your alternator just took a shit. And he's like, I don't know. So we pull off. He's like, well, I'll just call AAA. We pulled off a little way station there. Turns out in New Jersey, AAA cannot go on the freeway because somebody has that contract. So
Oh.
you have to call their tow guy to tow you off of the New Jersey Turnpike.
And then AAA picks you up.
And then AAA can pick you up from there. Well,
Yeah.
Howie wasn't having that. So he hooked a jump box up to this battery, bungee corded. As you can see, the bungee cord floating here. Bungee corded his hood down and started to drive to a shop that Pete the hubcap guy, who's right here, told him about. It's probably about a 45-minute drive. Well, I didn't want to ride in that car. I didn't want a hood flying up. So Jimmy was there. I rode with Jimmy, and we followed the truck and got the alternator fixed, and that was that. But that was our last war story. That was last year.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself, do I want to accept a ride from Howie?
Well,
Could
and
happen twice,
And Howie's like Mr. Safety. You talk electricity with Howie, people in the chill will bring up stuff. He's like, no, you could get hurt doing that. And then you see stuff like this. It's like, really, dude?
He's got it stuck in there with spit and love.
Seriously.
I hope you guys enjoyed those pictures. I didn't mean to bore anybody. I hope that was cool to see some of those photos.
You know what? I'm going to be posting. I've posted some. I'm going to post throughout the week.
Flood it.
Because it's just, you know what? You can't say it enough. 9 out of 16 years, 14 of them, I had a wedding the night before.
Yeah.
So I would finish my wedding at 11, dash home, unload the car, take a shower, grab my suitcase, and I was at LAX or San Diego by 4 a.m. I had one probably 6 or 7 years ago where the wedding was supposed to end at 11, and we had a kid have a seizure at 10:45. Ambulance gets called, the whole 9 yards. This is hand to God, this is a true story. So now it's like 11:30, and this thing's got to be done. And one of the bridesmaids, as I walk to the bride who's crying, says, go another hour. And in my head, I'm in Simi Valley. So I'm an hour and a half away from home if I don't hit a light, maybe 2 hours. And I go, no, absolutely not. We need to end on one song. I think I can pull this off. And the maid of honor standing next to the bride on the other side goes, he's been great. Just listen to him. And she's like, okay, Jay, it's up to you. And I walk back, and in my head, all I can think is, I can't miss that flight. I can't miss that 6:20 flight. I get on the mic and I go, ladies and gentlemen, Michael's been taken by EMTs to the hospital, but he's doing great. They think it was just heat, so not to worry. But I don't want the wedding to end on that note. So I'd like to invite all of you out to the dance floor at this time to join the bride and groom for their last dance of the night. And then we're going to have a sparkler grand exit over at the front of the property. So please, everyone come out. And they're all like, the slow walk. Why are we coming out? And I get everyone on the dance floor and I hit play and you hear lightning. And you hear this piano go like, dun, 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 dun. And it's Total Eclipse of the Heart by the Dan Band with the swears. So you hear the guy start singing that turnaround line. And you can see people already starting to laugh. And he gets to the first F-bomb and the place erupts. And on the second F-bomb, everyone says it. Get to the very end and the song starts speeding up. Total Eclipse of the Heart. And it's flying and everyone's like, Total Eclipse. And the place just goes ballistic. I'm like, folks, make some noise. Like, George and Bree, the bride and groom. Blah, blah, blah. And people are going nuts and this and that. And I can't start tearing down fast enough. The next day, I'm in Philadelphia. And I get a text from the bride and groom. Hey, we just got up. We stayed up super late. Thanks again. You saved the day. Here's a photo. And it's the two of them with the biggest smiles walking out of the grand exit tunnel of sparklers. And that's their memory of the wedding. They didn't mention their nephew. Mm-hmm. They didn't mention the hospital. They didn't mention the EMTs. And it was one of those, But I hate to say it, it was as much me wanting to save the day, but I didn't want to miss my flight.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell them because I go, wow, that looks awesome. I'm in Philadelphia. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I flew out at 6:30 this morning. Like, we hadn't even gone to bed yet. I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm calling my wife at like 2 a.m. going, load up the car, get my suitcase, just put it in the car. I've got to jump in the shower. Can you have Connor unload the van tomorrow? She's like, sure. Ran in, showered, got in the car, and drove back to LA, where I just come from. It's like, really?
The experience that I always have, it just seems to never, ever, ever fail. I've got this big event coming up that the week of Expo. So I tell them I'm going to be gone the week of your event. So let's get all your stuff together. They drag their feet and they try to call me the whole time I'm out at Expo.
100%.
Like, guys, no, we talked about this. It'll be fine. Yeah, sure, whatever. No, every time.
Well, with the exception of this year, every year when Expo ends and they announce the new dates, usually like October, November or something, I just go in on my calendar and I'm booked. So if I get a hit for a Friday at Expo, I'm not leaving Thursday night. Like, tear down the booth, go to Los Familias for dinner, because we always go there every Thursday. It's Mexican on Thursday, every show for the last 15 years, because that's Pulse's place. So we do that. And then we walk back to Trump Taj Mahal or wherever. But I just tell people, yeah, I'm booked. Because trying to fly back
tough
and get there, or like even if you catch a 6 a.m. flight out of Philly that's nonstop, yeah, you're getting into LA or San Diego at 10 in the morning. But do you really want to then go do a wedding until midnight that night?
Yeah.
You'd be a basket case. So I automatically just zero those dates out.
You know, for me, and John, it can't be that much different, but it's a relatively short flight. If you can get it direct.
Yeah.
I mean, my flight's about 4 or 5 hours.
Hour and a half.
Yeah. I've driven back to see my family, I think 3 or 4 times at the end of the shows to Boston. And that's probably one time I had to fly back out of Philly. So drove to Boston. Oh, this is real good. Pulse goes, do you want the rent-a-car? I'm like, yeah, I'll drive to Boston. I'll bring it back to Philadelphia. Great. So I extend my flight over to the following like Wednesday. He wakes me up Thursday, Friday morning at like 2:30. Get up. I'd just gotten in the room. I think I was out with you. I'd like just literally gotten to bed. Wake up. What's the matter? You got to go to the airport with me. I'm like, okay, well, I'll sleep on the way. At 3 o'clock in the morning, do you know how long it takes to get to the Philadelphia airport? Not quite an hour. You're like,
yeah, pretty quick.
So then I drove back to the Trump Taj Mahal, went back to bed, got up at like 10, and then saw cousin Lisa, had a drink, or not a drink, just like some lunch, and then drove to Boston, and then came back down like Wednesday morning early. So you're doing Mass, Connecticut, New York. You got to go over the GW, the George Washington Bridge, and get back into New Jersey and just.
What I've always wanted to do and I've never done is to stay and like do Manhattan or something afterward. Have you ever done anything like that, John? Or do you always just go right home?
We've always had to get out.
Yeah, me too. There's always a gig or something. I got to go.
There's always something coming up.
Dude, this is John. He's left before and he's still there. Like he's already at home, but yet his body is still there, it seems.
Yeah. John does.
Ask Photo Booth Expo. I'm walking through South Point, and here he comes, like literally in a straight line with the family, all in order. Like, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? He just keeps going. He's
gotta
like,
go. Bye.
Gotta go. We gotta check bags. We're leaving on an early flight. I'm like, well, thanks for bringing me. Oh, bye.
Yeah.
So
the first time you see John is the last time you see John.
No, Jay's embellishing just a little bit in that conversation. I didn't even acknowledge him. I just walked right.
Yeah. That's
I didn't even say. I didn't even answer his question. Hey, John,
what are you doing? On Zoom.
Yeah. See you Tuesday. No, but that. I would love to stay over the same way I'd always wanted to stay over at Mobile Beat. And I've done it once at Mobile Beat where I stayed over and left because I usually leave on. No, I've left on Friday. I've never stayed Friday night to Saturday. The new show ends Thursday. I've stayed once over Thursday. And literally, it was the year that everyone decided to bug out. It was like me, Luca,
Yeah.
and I think Bill Jacobs.
Yeah.
Well, in the old days, I used to go to NAM and then just stay in LA until Mobile Beat when they were closed.
Yeah.
And then 2 years ago, after Mobile Beat, I rented a car and drove to Phoenix and saw my sister, and that was really cool. Then I just flew out of Phoenix.
That's right.
But most of the time, I just bug out of Expo. But I tell you what, if you've never been to Expo, if you know people and you get involved, it's exhausting. There's always something going on. It's a long 3 or 4 days, and I, for one, have never felt like at the time. I say this in theory that I'd love to stay longer, but by Wednesday night, I'm ready to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. I just no done. I'm done.
Well, but you know what? Let's be fair. You're in kind of rarefied earth because you're being pulled at in like 30 different directions.
I don't know what most people's experiences are, but yeah, I'm busy. Like probably I'm doing 18, 20-hour days.
If you were hanging out with the show, and everyone's got a different MO. Mine has always been get up early Monday because we don't have anything to do Monday morning. Monday morning is kind of get ready to set up the booth around noon.
Mm-hmm.
Booth is done by 7. We go to the sales dinner in the hotel or wherever. That goes till 10. And then we're free until the next morning. And we have to be there usually 2 hours pre-show. So the show starts at noon, 11.
Yeah, 1,
like
noon, whatever it is.
Yeah, something. So we're there 2 hours prior.
Yeah.
So Pulse and I, because Pulse doesn't party. So Pulse and I are always, well, we'll go out and do stuff. We'll go see Lisa at Scores tonight, like Monday night. And then we'll get up Tuesday and go swimming and then have breakfast and then go do the show. And then Wednesday we'll get up and we'll go to the outlets. Like there's always something. Like for dinner, Tuesday is usually Atlantic City Bar and Grill or Hong Kong. Real quick, Davey, when about 8 or 9 years ago, a bunch of the Japanese came over and we were at Trump. And Davey says, they want to go out to dinner tonight. Where should we go? I said, there's a great Chinese place like a block down. Now, if you come out of Trump Taj Mahal up, I think it's Pacific that runs parallel to the boardwalk.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Turn left. So you'd start walking north on Pacific. You go about 2 blocks, and there's a little Chinese restaurant called Hong Kong next to a liquor store.
Yeah.
And you look in the window, and they have fish tanks. And there hasn't been a fish in those tanks, I don't know, since the 30s. And it's like every Quentin Tarantino movie, you look inside and there's a little tiny kid watching a TV that's got like a broken antenna and he's smacking the side of it to get like the Flintstones to come in clear.
Yeah.
So I tell Davey, why don't we go to Hong Kong? Okay. And there's like 13 people. So I go, I'm going to go take a shower, get changed. I'll meet you there. They go there and find out there's no alcohol. You have to go to the liquor store to buy beer or wine and bring it back. I get there and Davey's like, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a chance you may be going home tomorrow. I'm like, what? He goes, this is like the biggest pit, but the Japanese won't leave because they don't want to offend you. Because I kept saying, Jay said it's really good. Because, Davey's doing what everyone does. They throw you under the bus first. So he's like, Jay said it's really good. Jay recommends it. They're like, oh, we don't want to offend. So I could walk in. There's cases of beer on the tables, Japanese and us sitting there. I'm like scared shitless. I drink a couple beers. And the food comes. I'd say a good hour afterwards. I was hearing from the Japanese, that's the best food I've ever had. It's better than the food in China. I've been to Macau. The food's not that good. This is the greatest restaurant I've ever been to. And it was like, so Davey's like, dude, I was wrong, man. I apologize. He was cool about it. He goes, how did you find this? I go, I asked the bartenders. What? You've never been there? I'm like, no. Why did you recommend it? I go, because John, the bartender, said, Hong Kong's really good. Atlantic City Bar and Grill, Fairmont Tavern. Like, he lives here. He works here. Why would I question him? Why would he give me bad advice? He's the bartender.
Right.
He wants us to come back. So that night we went back to Ego, and I told the Japanese, like, this is the gentleman that recommended Hong Kong. Oh, clapping and bowing. And tip it. It's great.
Nice.
It's a blast. But I mean, the food is to die for. But if you looked at it from the outside, you'd never take a step in.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't. But the food's great. And that's the tragedy of Atlantic City. It's you have the casinos, and then 30 feet behind them, you just have these 2-family houses that, what do you think we could buy one for, Brian? 20 grand? 30 grand?
I remember the approach to the Taj. Like
Right out front.
there was a big sign, Trump, you go into the driveway, and like to the left, there was a housing project.
Yeah.
Like right there where the Trump sign was. It wasn't like across the street or down the road. It was right there in the driveway with mismatched curtains and
looking in rough
There's
shape.
an
crack
Indian-
pipes laying around. I'm like, are you kidding me? But,
If you came out of Trump and crossed over Pacific, at that corner, there's a little Indian restaurant that has a buffet. And Christian and I went there one night because no one was around, apparently. And we came in by train and we were starving, and everyone was taking a party bus from Philadelphia. So I go, I'm starving to death. He goes, and he whips out the phone. Oh, Yelp, good reviews right over here, Indian. Let's go there. We walk in, they gave us plastic fork and knife, paper plate. It's like $7.95 each, and it was delicious. I mean, it was like amazingly good. But it was the same thing. We were the only people speaking English. We were like almost getting looks of like, what are they doing here? But it was phenomenal food. Like, have you really had a bad meal in Atlantic City?
no, I've had some interesting meals. I've had some pretty interesting ones. I remember. Oh God, should I tell the story? I got invited to a soul food restaurant by Jimmy Reed and Danny Turner, and they're like, "Well, we're going for soul food. You sure you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go, man. I'm down." So,
With Jimmy and Dan.
yeah, so
It's legit.
right, it's legit. Yeah, so we go like way on the other side of Atlantic City. I'd never been over there. It was really nice.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen that part of Atlantic City. And we go in there and we sit down and they bring the menus and I'm looking at it and they ordered what I thought was pretty standard stuff, And I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna get liver and onions, this is the place to do it. And they looked at me like, you eat that? I'm like, oh yeah.
I love
With mashed potatoes and liver gravy, and I'm like, I can't wait. And it came and I was like just devouring it, like, I can't believe you're eating that. We would never order that.
I thought you were going to say chitlins at first.
No.
I was like, wow.
I was just really excited to see it on the menu because it was just like Mom's, it was really good.
Yeah.
But it was I mean that where do you get that? And it was a nice place too. It wasn't like, this not cool place. It was a really nice place. And really good food. Like really nice home cooked southern food.
The magic of Atlantic City for me is you walk down the boardwalk at night and you see mom and dad and their kids and you realize this is their getaway. And, I grew up in Boston, but I had family in New York. I had a lot of friends in New Jersey. Going to the shore in New Jersey is what you do in the summer. Same way people in Mass go to the Cape. Same way people in Maine go to the shore. And this is their getaway. This is their big, dad does whatever and mom might be stay home. You don't know their story.
Yeah.
New Jersey is a very honest place, as I've always found the people to be. They're very honest.
Oh, they're blunt.
They're blunt. They're hardworking. But you sit down in a restaurant in New Jersey, within 3 seconds, and the waitress is calling you hun, thanks, babe, whatever. And there's just a sense of that, you're welcome there.
Can we
get
just
there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was just going to say before we wrap the show, because I know John's going to wrap it here in a second. It's going to happen, and I can feel it. It's in the air. It's like it's just like looming there.
Yeah.
But I just need to, and I know we're talking about things at the show that are just like not necessarily DJ things, but things we enjoy doing. And here's another one. Can we at least acknowledge she's not around anymore, but the Korean cheesesteak trailer lady on the boardwalk?
Oh.
Forget about it. Oh
Chris
my God.
and I
Oh my God.
lit Now, Chris is 400 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, before you tell the story, just so you know, the precursor to this, I don't even know if you know this, Jay, is that we go there for lunch, and she says, "Are you coming tonight?" And we say, "Yeah, probably around 2. I was gonna close at midnight, but I'll stay open if you're coming." So the lady stays open until you get the steak, then she closes.
Yeah,
Wow.
How's that cool?
But we wandered in there, and we came out of Trump Taj Mahal, and we were like the last two standing. And literally, as the night's progressing, people are just like, "Yeah, I'm going to bed." I'm like, "Dude, it's early. It's only like 11." But then, like, literally in the blink of an eye, it's like 2:30.
Yeah.
And we're just looking at each other, and Chris is hammered. I'm not much better, but I'm like, I'm starving. It's like, we need to get cheesesteaks. I'm like, dude, we need to get cheesesteaks and pizza
Now.
now.
And pizza.
And there is nothing open.
No.
And we wandered over to her. Yeah, we got cheesesteaks.
And
We
it was
just, like,
good.
But we went on the railing like this. Like, it's just a steel railing, and we're leaning on it, trying to balance ourselves. And we're bouncing into each other, trying to eat. Like,
Yeah.
and you're
Oh my
moving your
God.
arms, falling.
Oh my God. I remember just inhaling those things so hammered. But they were so good. Even sober, they were good though.
Oh, good.
You know, even sober, they were good. So I just miss her. After the hurricane hit,
Yeah.
never saw her again.
No, she
But
didn't come
she was
back.
there.
And a lot of people did.
She had 3 trailers right outside of resorts.
Yeah.
And it was just the best. It was
It
my
was amazing.
favorite. People say Geno's Pats. I'm like, not Korean lady on the
Oh, no,
boardwalk.
Korean
that was
lady.
the
Yeah,
stuff.
no, you see. But
Yeah.
side note, because we didn't mention it once, we have to mention it real quick. Brian and I were up in the VIP section, House of Blues, 2009.
No, 2008.
It was 8?
It was 2008. That's
Okay.
what makes it so special.
Then
Yeah,
it
it
gets
was
even better.
August 2008. Yeah.
Because Brian and I had met in June of 2008.
Yeah, we had just met.
We just met for the first time in Chicago at Mobile Beat. Then Brian shows up, and you were filming, and that's
Well,
when
you
I saw.
you hooked me up with VIP passes to go up
Yes.
to the balcony at House of Blues.
And it was Yumi and Pulse, and all of a sudden, lady comes out that Akon introduces.
Yeah.
After
No, he wasn't there yet.
Cheryl Lynn.
He wasn't there yet. Akon was late.
He didn't introduce Lady Gaga.
He
Oh, that
did.
was the second set.
Yes.
Second
Anyway,
set. later.
you already blew the punchline. It was Lady
Oh.
Gaga.
Sorry.
That's okay, but it was before Just
Oh,
Dance.
before
was
anybody knew anything. We all looked
Yeah.
at each other like, that Just Dance song sounded kind of cool, but
That
I don't
was
know.
different.
I might play it.
That was different.
The
I
disco
liked it a
stick
lot.
thing, I didn't get that. What's
I
that?
liked it a lot. I think that maybe, it'd do well in Europe, but I don't think America's going to get it.
Like the
you
big
know.
track that year was probably Michelle Williams, Break the Dawn.
Well, the EDM stuff was
Yeah.
hot.
So it was like this Lady Gaga thing with her 2 backup dancers. Like, what's all this about? And literally by December, everybody was Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Everybody.
You
And
know,
we're
I
like,
just watched that video and it was like, oh, geez, Cyndi Lauper was there. I think George Lamont
Katrina
was there.
and the Waves. Katrina and the Waves.
Was she there?
Yeah. She
Wow.
came out and did Walking on Sunshine.
Kim Suzzy was there.
Yep. Cheryl
Um,
Lynn was there. Not Cheryl Lynn. The other girl, the Jamaican blonde girl.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm gonna have to look up her name. She was
Okay, not Kelly Rowland, not Beyonce, the other chick in Destiny's Child.
Michelle Williams. That's the We Break
She
the
was
Dawn.
there.
She was there. But
Yes.
the girl that came on before Lady Gaga was I want to say like Sherry Lynn or something like that. She's Jamaican, but she's blonde.
It wasn't
Really
Cheryl.
pretty girl. Not Cheryl Lynn like that Cheryl
To be
Lynn.
real, right.
No,
Well,
a different one.
What happened was they did the showcase and all these people came out and then Akon shows up late. He shows up at like 2:00 in the morning. He's like, hey, I'm sorry I just got here, but I need to see Lady Gaga again. This is an album I co-produced and I want to bring her out because it's that good. Are you guys cool with that? I'm like, yeah. So then she comes out and performs again.
Yeah.
And they almost repeat the show. I've never closed a House of Blues show back in the day. They're long gone, but when they were going on, I never closed one. I've heard they go to 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Is that how late they
That's
go?
pretty accurate. Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Well, because you heard the story behind Naughty by Nature, right?
No.
50 Cent was playing, and they were in from Philly at somewhere in Atlantic City, and they were upstairs, Foundation, the bar upstairs, and they heard 50 Cent do a sound check. either 50 Cent or Pitbull, one of them do a sound check. And they're like, yo, what's going on? It may have been Pitbull. And he's like, oh, I'm doing the show for promo only. Like, who's promo only? Then they talk to their manager and find out, oh, these guys sell our stuff. That's cool. And I guess they went and approached Jim and Pete and said, yeah, we're here.
You mind?
We just played Philly. We're off tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Like, we're around. Can we play? And that's how they ended up headlining over, because they came in as a late add-on.
So anybody watching this trying to figure out what we're talking about, and if I screw this up, Jay, correct me, because I'm sure you know more about it than I do. You've been involved with the sponsorships here. But New Jersey or Atlantic City is an interesting place to have a show like this, because Promo Only can step in and reach out to reps and management and say, hey, look, we're having this showcase in Atlantic City. We're going to bring 4,000 or 5,000 DJs into House of Blues. Is there anybody that you'd like to get in front of several thousand DJs? And like, yeah, absolutely. Do you want Akon? It's like, yeah, that'd be fantastic. Okay, but if you get Akon, you got to take this other chick, Lady Gaga, and then you got to take Cyndi Lauper, and you got to take this and this and this, because they're all on the label.
That's exactly what it was.
Is that how it is? Yeah. And they come out
and
get
the big name, but with the big name comes 2 or 3 under names.
Kind of like the K-Tel albums in the 70s.
You get the one song.
You can have Staying Alive.
Crystal Waters. Crystal Waters played. Too. I mean,
Crystal Waters was ever there, was she?
Yes, Crystal Waters played.
ADJ brought Crystal Waters into Mobile Beat.
Yeah.
Because I was involved with that one.
But Crystal Waters played at Promo Only too.
Oh, okay.
Salt and Pepper played. There was the year that they gave Donna Summer's husband the award. Jim and Pete came out.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the other thing. Again, these are all just DJs on a Tuesday night in Atlantic City at a trade show.
Right.
And the 2 MCs, the MC is Joey Fatone of NSYNC.
Right.
All of a sudden, Joey turns around and goes, hey, I brought a buddy. And out comes like Chris Kirkpatrick, one of the other NSYNC. So now you have 2/5 of NSYNC on stage in front of DJs who play their music to make money.
Right.
You get carried away very, very quickly. And to say the show was all over the map is an understatement.
It's
the only thing they never really did rock. It was always very A&R, radio.
Wasn't there one rock band there one time? Wasn't there one rock band? And it was really weird.
I can't remember who it was.
I think I remember one rock band hit that stage and it's like, this is really bizarre, but it happened.
Yeah, there very well could have been. I mean, this went on. It was a promo-only party that Pioneer co-sponsored. And we would get there and start hearing about the acts that were coming. And, we'd focus on the Pitbulls and the 50 Cent and the Salt and Peppers. And
they're still talking about Gaga. Jesus.
Like, we didn't know who she was.
No, but they're still talking about it now.
Oh, yeah, they are. Well, again, when you think about it, you were there at the very beginning. And the shows were good in 06 and 07. But 09 forward was a cluster because people remembered, wait, this is the show where Gaga was there last year.
Yeah.
Who's going to be there this year? So people really started showing up.
Yeah.
Like when you were there, VIP was like busy. The next couple of years, VIP was like insane.
Oh, really?
Well, because now people were making their way there. Now the casinos were like, yeah, Lady Gaga. Yeah, well, they have this show. Oh, get us in there, VIP. Okay. Yeah. So now you started getting all walks of life. And House of Blues was, they weren't even open on Tuesdays, They only did that for us. They weren't traditionally open.
Good times, man. It's a show if you've never been to it. It's a unique show. I like them all. They all have their own personalities, but DJ Expo is special. It's just there's something about the people. There's something about the East Coast DJs and the Jersey Shore, and it's a little dangerous, which makes it kind of fun too. I think it's not as Disneyland as Vegas can be sometimes. But,
yeah, not at all. But it's
on the boardwalk. You're
very honest. I mean, it's an honest place.
It is. It's very honest.
I really hope that this finds us next August at the Irish Pub doing this show and saying, remember last year when we couldn't come out to a show?
Yeah.
And by the way, if nobody's heard on this end, the new DJ Expo is supposed to be in November. That could happen. The fact that the NAMM show canceled the other day for January tells me that we're probably a safe bet. We won't see a trade show much before March, April, May of next year.
I think that would be a pretty good analysis of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm surprising anyone.
I'm not holding my breath for November, and even if it does happen, I'm in no hurry to get on a plane myself.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Because me swimming in November Atlantic is a different thing. That's a different animal.
Let's all get some money under our belts.
I'll go if we do it. If we do it in November and I go, you have my word here. John can play back the tape. I will film it and I will swim. I don't care. I don't care if there's snow on the ground.
And then the topic the next week will be called shrinkage.
Right.
Yeah. My voice will sound much higher throughout the next episodes, but
and next week's show will be featuring Ice Cube. The rapper? No, Jay.
No, Jay.
Yeah, no, Jay. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. We are well over our hour time frame. The chill link is down in the comment area. Just grab that, pop there in just a couple of minutes, and there will be more conversation about DJ Expo of the past and sharing stories and having a lot of fun with that. So, Jay, Brian, thank you guys. And thanks, you guys, John, for watching us.
Thank you,
we will
John.
Catch you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.